Just a little introduction about our judges, and that just gives me a quick chance to talk about the scoring. So there are 5 judges ringside, and they will be randomly selected. 3 judges will score the bout. The first one will be NAMETOV against VEITIA, the light flyweights, 46 to 49. And it is the 10-point must system, so somebody must get 10 points for winning. Someone must have 9 or below. There is no draw in a round, 5 rounds of course, and if it's a close round, 10-9, clear winner 10-8, total dominance as they call it, 10-7, and completely overmatched would be 10-6. And when that normally happens, there's normally a TKO going on, and the referee will step in. Just a little introduction about our judges, and that just gives me a quick chance to talk about the scoring. So there are 5 judges ringside, and they will be randomly selected. 3 judges will score the bout. The first one will be NAMETOV against VEITIA, the light flyweights, 46 to 49. And it is the 10-point must system, so somebody must get 10 points for winning. Someone must have 9 or below. There is no draw in a round, 5 rounds of course, and if it's a close round, 10-9, clear winner 10-8, total dominance. Just a little introduction about our judges, and that just gives me a quick chance to talk about the scoring. So there are 5 judges ringside, and they will be randomly selected. 3 judges will score the bout. The first one will be NAMETOV against VEITIA, the light flyweights, 46 to 49. And it is the 10-point must system, so somebody must get 10 points for winning. Someone must have 9 or below. There is no draw in a round, 5 rounds of course, and if it's a close round, 10-9, clear winner 10-8, total dominance as they call it, 10-7, and completely overmatched would be 10-6. And when that normally happens, there's normally a TKO going on, and the referee will step in. Well, coming out now is just a little introduction about our judges, and that just gives me a quick chance to talk about the scoring. So there are 5 judges ringside, and they will be randomly selected. 3 judges will score the bout. The first one will be NAMETOV against VEITIA, the light flyweights, 46 to 49. And it is the 10-point must system, so somebody must get 10 points for winning. Someone must have 9 or below. There is no draw in a round, 5 rounds of course, and if it's a close round, 10-9, clear winner 10-8, total dominance as they call it, 10-7, and completely overmatched would be 10-6. And when that normally happens, there's normally a TKO going on, and the referee will step in. Well, coming out now is VEITIA, Yosbany of Cuba. He'll be up against Khamza NAMETOV of Azerbaijan. This is the 49-kilo class, the light flyweights. And it's an intriguing bout, this, because Cuba's #1 ranked Yosbany VEITIA, phenomenal boxer, won the bronze at the recent AIBA World Championships in Almaty. NAMETOV 3-2 this season in the WSB, so on paper not looking like he'll be able to handle the firepower of this Cuban, but he is a big puncher. Managed to TKO Anthony Barriga, which is surprising at these lightest weight category, the light flyweights, and Barriga carries with him a big name as well, so he is a hard puncher. The Azeri, who's about to come out.
Khamza NAMETOV!
Well, he knows he's up against it here, Khamza NAMETOV. No doubt game for it, but he's up against a Cuban with a 7-0 record in the WSB, the #1 ranked fighter in this weight category in the world right now. There you go. Season wins, 7 losses, 0 for Yosbany. Just 22 years old. This is the record of NAMETOV. Only 21, 3 wins, 1 by TKO, 2 losses. No doubt he'll be pulling out a gutsy performance here. So 5 3-minute rounds await us. Our referee from Algeria, Kayra Sidi Yacoub. The judges, Mr. Gallagher from Ireland, a regular face, Julien of France, Gorny of Poland, Jermaine of Canada, and Bassi of England.
Of course, you and I saw VEITIA at the World Championships in Kazakhstan. What a performance he put in there to take bronze, and it's this kind of elusive work that's so dangerous. The Cubans, they're just will-o'-the-wisps. 1 minute you see them, the next minute they're gone, then they're back at it. Ties his man up very nicely.
Absolutely, and the way they're scoring these bouts in the WSB, of course, first and foremost, number of quality blows, and you can see the Cuban just picking his shots perfectly, slicing through the guard of the Azeri, and of course domination of the bouts, the second most important, competitiveness, technique, and of course then finally infringement of the rules, and the Azeri just trying to bully the Cuban a little bit there, throw him around a bit, show him his power.
This is great work from the Cuban. VEITIA slipping almost everything that's dangerous from NAMETOV. It's really a very difficult job for the Azeri to try and nail the Cuban down, because he presents a target, draws his man in, and then he's gone on his toes, throws that right so wickedly fast.
Well, this is one of the pairs that actually met in the regular season when Cuba visited Baku several months ago, and NAMETOV was on the receiving end of a 3-0 points decision, and almost every single round went to the Cuban there. And Will, you give that one to the Cuban. He was certainly the more dominant of the two.
Well, we've got a tale of the tape, and it just reminds us that the accuracy and the evasive work came from the Cuban. He really put NAMETOV in between a rock and a hard place in terms of what NAMETOV could do in scoring terms.
Well, there you go. All 3 judges going the way of Yosbany, 9-10 across the board from Judge A, B, and indeed C. So coming out then, round number 2. The Azeri in those black and flaming shorts. Khamza NAMETOV. He's in a war again with this tough Cuban, Yosbany VEITIA, in the white and gold.
So a great opener for the Cuban. It's a cross 5. They need to settle down to work. NAMETOV needs to close that ring down, because too much space, and VEITIA will be gone. You just saw the ability with which he can slip shots, ducking under them, moving to the left. I mean, a very agile performer. Just leans out of reach there. NAMETOV finding it very difficult to put pigskin anywhere on VEITIA.
These two entirely different styles. VEITIA with his hands held low, whipping out punches. NAMETOV trying to then counter.
The Cubans play a very wicked game of cat and mouse. They present a target, they drop the hands, but it's just that natural speed and reflex that they train for. Just look at the way he slips out of the way there. I mean, that was an open target. Any other boxer probably would have got tagged. Great fluidity. And you sense now VEITIA starting to enjoy the samba. NAMETOV working well though. Looking for opportunities. He's never once stopped pressing VEITIA.
VEITIA there going to the body, trying to drop that guard, and you can see it's worked. NAMETOV now a bit more wary about the body shot. Oh goodness, cuts through his guard there. It's the turn of VEITIA just to cover up.
Well, this has been a better round for NAMETOV, but I still get the feeling that VEITIA is going to come out on top in terms of scoring from the judges. It really is a crisp and class performance.
When you see a boxer like VEITIA, he can throw punches from anywhere, down by his hips, one to the body, and it's hard just to cover up like NAMETOV, because all you can cover is from head down to mid-chest, and that's when VEITIA starts working to the body again. And NAMETOV comes in, gets his turn. Doesn't seem to trouble VEITIA though.
It's just that ability to move out of range just when it's required, just with a backward lean, but still leaves you in touch to put your own shots in.
That was brilliant, wasn't it? Absolutely brilliant. Just before the bell there, VEITIA allowing him a clean shot in his face, and he comes flying past. 1 minute he's there, next minute he's gone. The Scarlet Pimpernel, off he went. And NAMETOV finding this difficult, just hit his target. There's a good right hand though.
Well, as I say, I think it was a better round for NAMETOV, but I think judges are still going to favour, maybe not unanimously, but, well, they have.
Yeah, so 18-20 across the board after 2 rounds. Certainly got a few good quality blows in there, though, NAMETOV. Might just get VEITIA thinking a little bit, but I think VEITIA was taunting him at the end there, saying, okay, you got me with a couple, but go for it, and just left him for dust, really. That was phenomenal speed. Smiling, looking happy. Here we go. Round number 3, out they come again. The Azeri and the Black and Flames. NAMETOV, the hometown hero, up against this tricky Cuban World Championship bronze medalist, Yosbany. VEITIA, a little slip there. Is the referee going to step in? Is it some water from the corner, perhaps?
Crucial round now for Azeri fighter NAMETOV. Needs to take this round to stay in the competition. Very aggressive start, and quite clearly NAMETOV prefers that less mobile style of fighting, working away. But VEITIA, he's not going to let him have his day here, is he? He's just going to keep in and out, and that's so wonderful about the performance of the Cubans. Just the fluidity, the poise. But NAMETOV needs to get his head down and go to work here. Just a little bit of effort now disappearing from the work of NAMETOV. Perhaps because he's trying to think of a strategy. But this is uphill running for the Azeri.
VEITIA offering him a square on target. Now allowing him just to punch himself out a little bit, and then that wasn't bad from NAMETOV. He's got to do that when he's in a clinch like that. He's just got to bully the Cuban a little bit, because when he's at range, he's just a sitting duck at the moment.
Well, after 3 rounds, you can see why this man is ranked at #1. Just look at the ring craft. It really is a masterclass now.
Well, the Cubans got to be careful, of course, because one of the things they do like, the judges, is when someone is being aggressive, and NAMETOV definitely throwing more punches. Not many of them getting through to the target at the moment.
VEITIA on his toes. Just under half a minute left in this third round, and it's an absolute joy to watch. I mean, he's been behind the driving seat right from the get-go, VEITIA. Nothing here to worry him.
Two good left hands there from NAMETOV. Suddenly, with 10 seconds to go here, could turn this round around if he can unleash something. 5 seconds to go, and an exchange that doesn't really go either way. It gives something for the judges to think about.
Certainly, at the end there, gets a good left hand in, and it was a wake-up call for VEITIA. Very much a case of too little, too late. But, well, let's see what the tail of the tape shows us. And no lack of effort from Khamza NAMETOV, but just doesn't land the shots cleanly.
Yeah, not just landing them uncleanly, but often just swinging and missing completely. So tricky to hit VEITIA. But did that last flurry help him? Let's have a look. No, I'm afraid not. So Yosbany is 30-27 up on all three of the judges' scorecards. So 2 rounds to go in this light flyweight sub-49 kilo class. And it's starting to look like the Azeri fighter Khamza NAMETOV will have to attack full on here and hope for a TKO like he did against Mark Anthony Barriga earlier on in the season, or perhaps even a full on KO. He's got to go full throttle here at the Cuban.
Well, everything to play for and nothing to lose, with 3 rounds in the favour of the Cuban. NAMETOV has got stopping power, as you said, Colin. That match-up against Barriga beautifully put the opposition away. Can he remove the judges from the equation? That's what he's going to have to do, but you just get the feeling that that might just be, well, a bridge too far.
Just a brilliant jab, flicking up from the hip there from VEITIA as he stepped forward. And he's starting to work at range here, VEITIA. He knows he's up on the scorecards. He's got 3 rounds in the bag. Even if he were to lose the next 2 rounds, he'd still be the winner here. So he doesn't want to get caught up in a brawl.
Absolutely, Colin. I mean, VEITIA really has avoided slowing the pace down to meet NAMETOV head-on for a little bit of a slugfest. Wants to outbox his opponent, doesn't want to get involved in a punching match. But he draws NAMETOV in. He's stationary, flicks out that right jab, but then as soon as NAMETOV engages, off he goes.
Yeah, NAMETOV not looking this immobile against other opponents he's fought this season. Looked very good against Sagaluev in week 9, and was a Parov as well. And Barriga, of course, was just magnificent, but VEITIA is making him look pretty leaden-footed, and there we go again. VEITIA dancing around, just a bundle of energy.
Yeah, the footwork of the Cuban just making NAMETOV look lumpen. That was a slip, but just over a minute left in round 4 now. Can NAMETOV make this count?
And NAMETOV's hand still just glued up by his face for his defense. VEITIA's hands permanently moving, distracting him with one, goes in with the other. He's just such a tricky customer with those long arms of his. It's really hard to see what kind of fighter would beat him, unless it was someone like NAMETOV, but with even more power, who could bully him up against the ropes.
Yeah, slippery as a bag of eels, VEITIA. That's the Cuban way. They dance, they slip, and a lot of what they do is not what you see, it's what you don't see. I mean, even on the inside, just look at that. The right hand comes up as they go in, and you don't see the strike, but it's there. NAMETOV realizes he's got the work to do. Nothing to lose here now, starts to open up, and such big heart, really.
Well, again, buoyed on by this crowd here in Baku, the capital city of Azerbaijan, but VEITIA actually a little cut upside his head Wonder if that's from the inside of a glove more than anything else. Almost certainly. Couple of good exchanges in that bout. That was just a trip. Well, well, well. 10-9 to NAMETOV over Yosbany there. And that's what I was saying. Aggression is scored very highly in AIBA. And, well, domination of the bout, they call it. So, NAMETOV suddenly thrown a lifeline here in the first bout of this WSB finals. Well, luckily, the cut isn't anywhere near the Cuban's eye. So we're back out for the final round. 1 3-minute round left to go. And the Cuban, VEITIA, up by 2 points at the moment on all of the judges' scorecards. So NAMETOV has really got to win this round with some dominance.
He's certainly been the aggressor right from the get-go. He's brought the action to VEITIA. VEITIA has benefited from that.
Definitely the right tactics for NAMETOV. Just keep on charging forward here. Hope to get through, maybe stun VEITIA.
You just have to look at NAMETOV and the margin by which he misses, and it makes him look lumpen, as you said, Colin, but it's not. It's just VEITIA. Well, this is really another level, and you know, that's not to dismiss the work of NAMETOV here, but world-class VEITIA, and just hitting straight off from both hands there. Now he's starting to put pressure himself, VEITIA, on his toes all the time. He's always worked. NAMETOV has come forward and brought the action and has been aggressive. But just look now, we go to another level in the 5th round, and VEITIA making it really his own.
Well, yeah, but not boxing safe at all here, just a bit of showboating. I mean, he is giving the Azeri a chance here, though he hasn't got through yet. Still swings and misses again. I'm not sure it's the best tactics here from the Cuban. One of those punches gets through. He may well not win this bout. But he's smiling, enjoying the crowd.
And therein lies the excitement. He's offering the opportunity for NAMETOV to take the judges out of the equation. Has NAMETOV got a showstopper here?
Just incredible head movement from VEITIA. Ducks again. He hasn't thrown too many punches in the last minute. He's got to be careful here, VEITIA, because NAMETOV is marching forward all the time. Although he hasn't got through with many and completely missed with most. He's probably up at the moment. Beautiful. 30 seconds to go then in this final round. Cuban with the 2-point advantage, dancing about, happy to cruise, I think, to a 10-9 loss in the final round and take this on points. We'll know it's 10 seconds to go in a minute. We may well see a big dust up in the center.
Beautiful work from VEITIA. The Cubans are going to box this whole final. They're not looking to headhunt, but just there, the footwork from VEITIA says it all.
Well, that man could box for 15 rounds comfortably if he wanted to. So fit, so light in his feet. Phenomenal, the Cuban. And definitely the deserved winner, though. I wonder whether the final round has gone to the Azeri. I think it may have. And the only real mark on the Cuban is a cut close to his ear, but I'm pretty sure that's from a side swipe from the Azeri and just caught with the tape on his gloves rather than any kind of clean punch ever really hitting him.
Well, a huge round of applause goes up for both fighters, but the Cubans are much beloved wherever they appear, and knowing that he's done enough, VEITIA, very gracious in victory, goes over to compliment the corner of the Azeri.
Well, let's get the judges' decision.
Judge 1, 46-49. Judge 2, 46-49.
they've given the round to the Cuban.
The winner is Yosbany.
All three gave it to the Cuban in the end. That final round, 46-49 across the board. Almost an identical score to what happened in Baku a few months ago when these two fought in the regular season. Brilliant stuff. One of the best fighters in the WSB. So exciting to watch. And there are the final results. Mr. Gallagher, Gorney and Bassi, 46-49.
Final indi başlayı. Ona göre hevesten düşmürük. Sona gelir Baku Faiz ve Azerbaycan'a destek oluruz. Biz bir kere finale gelmişik, bir kere de finalda mübareze yaparmalıyız. Beləliklə ikinci görüş 56 kilogramda başlayacak görüşün ring hakimi referi.
So we have 4 more bouts to go. Standings then 1-0 to the Domadores of Cuba. Win on points, 3-0. All three judges seeing it the way of VEITIA over NAMETOV.